All right. Wonderful. Peace, blessings, and enough love to everyone.
Recording in progress.
All right. Again, peace, blessings, and enough love to each and every one of our queens and our kings that is in the house. Really appreciate. Thank you all very much for joining Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. And at this time, we are going to, of course, start with our signature tune, our theme song, which is In It to Win It. And of course, anything that you want to win, you got to be in. And that's the whole concept. And so this song was gifted to us by our one and only Queen Loretta Shodari, which is an international recording singing artist. And she has done this song for us. And we are so grateful because from the beginning in 2021, we have been using this song as our theme song. So there are some videos that kind of put together of our journey in Deep Dive. And so as we unfold this video, just take a look.
Shining bright next up is on passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shabari. Really appreciate, of course. Really do appreciate you joining us and giving us that wonderful, melodious song, In It to Win It. Do want to welcome those on our very YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining us. And I just want to, of course, acknowledge our Indian, Amasalamaken and Namaste. And thank you very much. Really appreciate, and thank you very much, Mama Boo, just for you to be on the YouTube, taking care of that aspect there. Really appreciate. All right. And so moving forward, we are going to be graced with none other than, of course, our mindset, because the mindset, as I say over and over and over, is the most important aspect of our life, not just for business, not just doing business or involving business, but the mindset is really for your entire life. Because with the mindset, it's really and truly your belief system. What do you believe? Do you believe that if your business do not go through, then you're going to jump off the 10-story building to, get out of the debt that you are in? No, that's not the mindset to have. All right. We need to develop positive mindset, not negative mindset. And so, fortunately, for us, this afternoon or this evening, we do have a treat, and that is none other than our wonderful speaker that we had joining us sometime last year. If my memory serves me right, I think it was November last year was the last time that he spoke on this platform, and oh my goodness, it was good. And so with us once again, it's Tim or Timothy Ferguson, right? And he's going to speak to us about doing good is the enemy of doing great. My goodness, doing good is the enemy of doing great. And so he is a motivational speaker. Of course, he's a financial specialist and a trusted leader, a mentor, and a personal development coach. All right. And so we just want to thank King Coach Timothy Ferguson for joining us today. And on this August 26th, we just want to thank King Timothy Ferguson. So over to you, King Timothy.
Thank you. Thank you. It is a pleasure to coming on here today. I want to give some shout outs thanks to Dr. Tunishai Ford and welcoming me back. And thank you to all. Dr. Derek, you welcoming me back. It is a pleasure and it is an honor to be here to speak with you today. And for what I have today is something that I believe is very, very essential, something that has been a help to me, and I believe that can be a huge help to everybody. Guys, for the sake of time, because I know we have another speaker following, I basically am going to be breaking this into two parts. So I will be returning for the remainder of this portion, and then from there, we'll have room to ask questions, to give some feedback, And what I would hope for you guys to do right now is take notes. If you have a pen and paper, this will be something really essential for you. It's a good thing that this is recorded. But yes, today I'm going to be talking about the subject is being good is the enemy of being great. Now, many of us, when we think about the term being good and being great, we look at them as a level. Like, good is one level, great is the next level. And if I just do whatever I'm doing more, I'll become great at it. And technically that is the case, when we're looking at things from a platform standpoint. But as we all know, as being adults, having families, having work, having all types of things that we're dealing with in our day, our time is limited, or it's conduced into different things. And so when it comes to our specialties, we have limited time in doing this. Thinking about it, I mean, for those who have gone to school, you've spent the time going to school and to become what you've become. And for anything we've done, we've spent time learning and developing and growing in it. So two things I want to say, guys, when it comes to skill and it comes to development, um, there's a concept I like to call the law of 10,000 hours. And what that is anything you invest 10,000 hours in, you become a master at it. Anything, you know, and so you can all think, kind of look up and say, what are some things that I'm really, really good at, and how long have I been doing it? And more than likely, you've invested, if you've been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years, you've invested over 10,000 hours, you are becoming a master at it. Now, what I'm want to talk about is being more specific as how to become great or become a master at the things that I do that are specific or effective for me. That's going to benefit me. And when it comes to becoming when it comes to a specific role, a specific trade, and what I'm doing, I recognize that I have a minimal amount of time in being able to do that. And so, and what that time is divided into, it's divided into my work time, family time, and everything else in an association with it. And we can find that I can find that I only have so much time to invest in whatever I'm doing, investing in my studies, investing in my business, whatever that is. I only have so much time to invest in it. And I've come to hear a lot of people find themselves with these limitations and feeling like they can't get better at what they're doing because their time is limited. And so, as a result, I'm going to my subject matter today, and what I want to talk about is something that is not really talked about so much because it's not the I would say the surface matter that most of us deal with, but it is something that is associated to everything that we deal with, and I call that time management. Guys, we've all heard that before. We all know time management. We all deal with time kind of in the same way that we all deal with money. We all deal with money in some form or another. We've made it, we've spent it, we've used it, we've lost it, we've invested it. There's all types of ways that we can look at how we've used money. Time is looked at. We can look at is in the same frame. Now, what's interesting about time is when it comes to money, we value money. This is where we come up with budgets. This is where we determine how we want to utilize it, if it's worth our money or not. And in a sense, which is what we're supposed to do. But the one thing that, because we don't focus on this, and most of us don't really understand this, that we do not value is time. And guys, when it comes to assets, time is our most valuable asset. More than money, more than anything else. Because guess what? When it comes to money, does it hurt losing money? Yes, it hurts losing money. But guess what? You can get that money back. Anything in these cases, it can be redone. It can be a do-over. But when it comes to time, guys, when we lose time, we never get it back. It's over. I'm 43 now this year, and I look back at the things I know now. I said, man, I wish I knew what I knew now 20 years ago. I think we all can raise our hands in saying that. And unfortunately, it's only going to remain a wish because I cannot go back in time. I can teach my children, I can teach others to take advantage of their time, but as a result, the time has passed. So, what can I do right now going forward to be a better manager of my time? And so, this is what I'm going to get. What I want to get. I'm going to share my screen as what I'm going to be talking about today. That as association is time management. So give me 1 second here. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I'm gonna get to the right page here. Thought I was on the right page. Sorry about that. Okay. So basically time management we're going to talk about. And when we're talking about time management here, guys, um as I said, time is our most valuable resource. Most valuable. And basically again, it's one we can never get it when we get it back. Time is the great equalizer. Every one of us have the same amount of it. What do I mean by that? I've talked to many people on financial matters. They're saying, well, that what you're sharing with me would be good for me, but I don't have the money to be able to do that. My conditions are more challenged and to be able to fulfill the matters that what you're giving me. And a lot of us can look at that, look at matters and saying why we can and can't do something because of money, or lack thereof. But one of the things with time, guys, is it's a little bit different. Yes, we can say we have limited time or in a matter, but the one thing, guys, that we all have is we all have the same amount of time. We all have 168 hours a week. So you have to ask yourself the question: if there's people out there that are doing things and being effective with their time, and you're not doing being effective with your time, it's not because you don't have enough time. And so one of the things that we want to do is we want to get out of our mind, out of our head is the the thought in our mind when saying I don't have time. How many of us have said that I just don't have time. I just don't have time. And it's something that has been in our head that is the biggest lie on earth. And it is the biggest hindrance from us being able to become great at what we do. Because we're looking at everything from in the matter of all of what we're doing, my work, my family, my entertainment, my sleep, all these things, and saying, well, what time do I have left? I have very little time left. But I want you to think about this, guys. When it comes to time, if we really add the hours up to the time that we use in working, sleeping, doing the things that are necessary, and then we also add the times up of the time we use to watch TV, doing other things that are considered, I don't want to say, frivolous, but that really don't really profit you anything. And you count how much time you spend on that, you realize that I waste a lot of time. And so rather than me saying to myself, I don't have time and convinced that I don't have time is my issue, what I need to rephrase that into saying I made poor choices or I've wasted my time as a better description. Um, Guys, we can't fix problems that we don't face. And so if we don't address if we can't admit this in ourselves when we reflect in ourselves, we can't fix it. And so right now, this is the thing that we should all be doing right now and saying, where do I fit on this? I can relate in saying I don't have time, but can I truly say that I may have made poor choices with my time? In this matter, and this is where we have to be honest with ourselves. This is not about anyone telling anybody else, but it's for us to be honest with ourselves to really understand what's going on. And so, if we want to get past that hump of just being good at what we do to being a master of what we do, this is how we get. This is the way that we're going to get there. So, um, so guys, there's three ways that we all use time. Okay, number one, we waste time. Number two, we spend time. And number three, we invest time. Okay. When it comes to wasting time, what is wasting time? Basically, wasting time is what I consider trading time for nothing of lasting value. Um, and so, what are some examples of that we can think? I'm not going to ask anybody to give any examples, but just give us some examples of what we can call wasting time or, playing a video game for a couple of hours, being on YouTube or watching TV for hours, just basically doing something that does not profit me in the future. Now, am I saying it's wrong with getting engaged with entertainment and doing things? Not at all. What I'm saying is we need to learn to put a limit on it. You know, um, I've learned, with my time, especially when time is more in and of the essence, I don't have time to watch football games, guys. I don't have time to watch basketball games. So what I do, I spend about 11 minutes and I watch the recap of the game. And that right there is my entertainment to get a football game. All because of I'm looking at my time and I'm saying I'd rather use these other 3 hours or 2.5 hours of my time to do something that is necessary. That 3 hours is, I realize I'm wasting 3 to 4 hours of my time watching a football game. Is it great? Is it entertainment? Yes. But this football game does not profit me anything in the future. I can't say to myself, in 10 years, I'm going to have such and such because of watching these football games. Maybe just more knowledge of the game, but nothing that I can say has benefited me as a whole. So as a result, the other matter we want to look at, guys, is spending time. Now, what is spending time? This is what I would call trading time for something of value. And see, guys, this is something where, because of the way we have used time and managed our time, there's a lot of things that we should be spending time doing that we don't spend time doing. And so, what are some examples of spending time? Well, hey, one example for me spending time is I'm married for 19 years. I have 8 children now, and spending time with my family is something that is essential. It is something that is of value. I love my family and I care about my family, and so I want to make it a priority that I set aside time for my family. Some other things in terms of spending time that are trading something of value, upkeep, taking care of myself, exercising, going to the gym, keeping my hygiene together, bathing on a regular basis. These are all things that are associated with spending time that I have to do. It's something that is of some form of value. But the problem with spending all your time is that you will always have a time deficiency. That's the problem. This is why we say, wow, I don't have time. Because based on the 168 hours a week I have and the way my schedule is set, I find myself having very little time to do anything extra outside of my normal day-to-day agenda. And usually, like I said, when you have a family, when you have a job, and you have things that you have to do that takes up many hours of your day as responsibility, you'll find yourself trying to do other things like building your business, learning a trade. These things very, very hard to do in a matter because you just really don't have enough time for it. And so what happens, you kind of find yourself in what we call, like I said, a time deficiency. So what is the other way that we spend time? Investing time. Investing time is trading time for larger amounts of time. The Bible says, gives word that we are to, God gives us the ability to redeem the time. So there's a grace and there's a mercy that is given unto us that we can redeem the time by repenting, making adjustments in our life, and doing things as a result that are on the lines of being righteous, so that we're able to obtain what it is that we're looking to obtain. Now, some examples of large amounts of times are, oops, I'm sorry. What are some examples of investing time? This is reading, studying a subject matter that you're looking to grow in, to get better in. Learning, spending time learning about money, learning about time, learning about things that when I'm spending my time doing this, I can see a benefit in me in the next 10 years. Think about it in the matter when I'm investing money. What is the purpose of investing my money? It's to see a return in the future. If it's whether it's conservative investing, whether it's a little bit more volatile, the objective is I'm putting my money into a vehicle with an expected return that's greater than what I've invested overall in 10 to 20 years. That's investing time. And so that's investing money. And so investing time is the same thing. Whatever the case it is. And so we might look at some things. I want you to think about some things that you say, these are some things that I'm good at, but I want to get better at. What are some things that you're good at that you want to get better at? Not even necessarily saying I want to get great at it. It's better. And so when you think of these things, how can I get better at these things? And normally when we think about what we have to do in order to do that, it's automatically out the window because we're like, I just don't have enough time. So, but what if we learn how to find a way to create that time? Okay. And here's the thing is creating this time without compromising priorities, compromising needs. A lot of us, I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of guys that are out there and I listen to how they do things, and they're like, yeah, just for me to be able to do A, B, and C, I can't do this, this, and this, and this, and they cut out a lot of things that they actually still need to do. In fact, I've been in business. I've been in entrepreneurship for 20 years now, and a lot of the people that I've seen as mentors, people that I've seen who's risen to where they've gone, have lost their families in the process. And why? Because they spend all their time focusing on the business and building the business. Is it necessary for them to do that? Yes, it is, of course. But because of the way that their time is associated, they're lacking on that spending time matters. So they're neglecting their children, they're neglecting the family, and as a result, it's already rough, in and of itself. If you guys know, the wife or the husband gets tired of it and says, I can't take this anymore, and then they move on. And so you find a lot of individuals, individuals ending up in divorce, all as a result because of these matters here. And so it's very essential important to saying, how can I invest time to improve myself without compromising the times that I need to keep? How can I focus on doing this without compromising on bathing, without compromising on spending time with my family, or any of these things here? And so it all comes with what we call time management. So the next thing here we want to look at is talking about priorities. And what are our priorities? And notice, guys, everything that I'm putting together is going to be in a matter of a setting. It's a platform. Okay, everything is structured. Okay, and the way we want to structure things is in a way that is a process orientation that anybody can do it if we apply it. So, what are the first top priorities that we should always have, that we should never neglect? That's God. You know, he's the reason why we're here, why we have all the things that we have. We need him to get from point A to point B. So that is one priority that we cannot compromise, and that we should not compromise when we're trying to manage our time. Another priority is family. Oh, sorry, I went ahead. Is family. Family is another huge priority, as I mentioned, that we should not compromise on because of what the cost of it. I know some families, some guys where they didn't lose their family in the process, but they don't have any relationships with their family. And you ask them, how did this feel? And they're not content with how things are, and they're just kind of like, it is what it is. But rather than it just being it is what it is, let's put things in a process orientation. Family, God and family are two things, priorities that cannot be compromised. The next priority is, now we can look at, is business. Okay. Business, whether that is your job, whether that is a business, whatever it is that you're doing, this is the one other thing outside of family, sleep, working. If you have that in addition to that, you have to have time set aside for. And this is the one thing usually that these other matters become compromised for, because business requires a lot of time, right? It's not just going to work for 40, for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. You're putting work in, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. You have things that you have to do, that takes a lot of time. But so as a result, there isn't anything that I'm saying that require that is insinuating that you should cut time in other areas that are essential. This is basically, how can I fulfill what I need to do without compromising the other things that are huge and necessary in my life. And so most people, guys, from a platform, most people, as I said before, we have 168 hours a week. We work, we sleep, we look at entertainment, we have a family, taking health into consideration, and then looking at time and investment. Just looking at these things, for example, if you write each one of these down, and you say, let me calculate how many hours associated to my work a week, 40 hours of work, sleep. If you get 7 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, what is that going to lead? How many hours is that a week? Let me add that into the matter. How much time do I spend time watching TV, doing things that, like I said, don't profit me anything for the most part, entertainment? How much time do I have set aside for my family a week? And how much time do I have set aside spending time for my health, going, exercising, or anything that's invested in my health? put all these numbers together and add all this up and see where you lay. You might find that when I add all this up, I'm beyond 168 hours. And so, and keep in mind, guys, this is not like money where there's a deficit where it actually can show. It just shows that, wow, I'm in a time deficit. I'll add this up and I'm at 180 hours when I add all of this stuff up. And so I need to reduce my time. So, how do I learn how to reduce my time? That is the part that is really essential in knowing how to do. And that is what I'm here to share with you guys and show you how to do in this matter here, especially when it comes to investing my time. And so, where I'm going to go, because guys, and I'm just going to close it out right now before we go any further. Um, when it comes to not having a plan, we got to look at how much time is left, and not a lot of time is left. You know, and I'll ask yourself this question: how much time do you have left to invest in your future? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves and really think about, because again, time is something that if when that is lost, once gone, we don't get it back, and it's something that we really need to learn how to really manage correctly. And I'm gonna pause here, guys, and we'll pick up next time to to close out on this. But I want to leave you out, guys, with this as we close. When it comes to time management and money management, by ratio, 60% of people who are good money managers are poor time managers. 100% of people who are money managers are poor time managers. What does this mean, guys? Is that when it comes to time management, this is something that majority people fail at. Majority people, not just fail, don't understand, do not know, and are in this place of constantly, in this case, I don't know, I don't have enough time thing, where they're stuck in just being good. And so, where we're going to get to next time, guys, is putting together the process orientation of dividing my time to where that I'm able to buy time to invest to benefit myself in whatever matter whether that's in my finances, whether that it's in my trade, whatever this is, but learning how to buy the time back. This is a really cool concept, really cool process, and that we're going to get on. Guys, I'm just gonna pause right here. I want to thank you for your time right now, and we'll pick back up when I return. Any questions that you guys have, write them down right now, and or as you think about them, and then that's something that we can also share, and I can ask as we close out. Dr. Ford, you said you have your hand raised.
Yes, yes. First of all, Tim, let me put my camera. I'm sorry. First of all, excellent presentation. Tim had an opportunity to do this presentation for our youth. He was the guest speaker for our last day for our step up participants. But I want to make this statement. Even with no plan, look at how much time is left. That is so profound. And one of the reasons why I really appreciate Dr. Derek's platform deep dive, he talked about the first thing he always says is about the mindset. When you don't have a plan or you don't have a sense of purpose, and I know that you will agree with this, Tim, you're going to do what? You're going to waste time because you're walking you're like you're in a void. You're in this void and in this atmosphere where there's just nothing but space, and you're not filling it with anything. So that's the reason why we waste time. So I believe that when a person has a sense of purpose, they're dreamers. And when I say dreamers, I don't mean daydreaming per se, but they're dreamers in terms of actuality, making things come to fruition. And they're purpose driven and they know that there's a mandate on their life. I think those are the kind of people that are going to fill in those spaces, that time management. They're going to be good time managers. So that is such a profound statement. Even with no plan, look at how much time is left. So again, when you have a sense of purpose, when you're dreaming, when you have a mandate and you know that God is walking with you, you're going to be that person who's going to be more apt to not waste time, but you're going to be a person who's going to be spending time and investing time. So that's what I want to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you.
He paid me to do that, guys. He paid me to say that.
All right, wonderful. Go ahead, Queen Pastor Tony.
We have another hand, Tony. Tony, you had your hand up.
Queen Tony, could you please unmute yourself?
I wasn't able to unmute at first. But great presentation as always. It got me to thinking about how I spend my own time. And I can't wait until part 2 so that I can take notes on how to be more effective and efficient with my time, because I'm number one to say I never have enough time. So I really appreciate the information that you offered and can't wait until next time. No pun intended.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Pastor Tony. Really appreciate. And of course, thank you very much, King Tim. Really appreciate that presentation. That was an awesome toughness box presentation, because it was actually what's his name again? Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett that said we have to find a way to income even when we're sleeping, because everyone have 24 hours. Nobody has more time than 24 hours and 7 days for the week. All right. And when I heard a young man say that he has 5 jobs, 5, then what time in sleep? How are you going to manage 5 jobs in 1 week? That blew my mind. That blew my mind. And so the problem is that we are not managing our time effectively. And so I really thank you, King Tim, for this wonderful presentation. This has to be a masterclass training, really and truly. So I thank you very much for this masterclass training. I thank you. All right. And of course, our first lady, Dr. Benny, has to have something to say with this wonderful, unique type of presentation. Over to you, First Lady, Queen Dr.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Greetings. Thank you for King Dr. Derek for giving me this opportunity to say something to our King Timothy. Before I open my mouth, let me say, I just want to take this moment to thank our Heavenly Father. I know you talk about God, right? I want to thank him because he created you and I in his image. I want to thank him for bringing each and everyone here, my queens and kings. Without God, we are nothing. I always say that the air that we breathe every second, we have to thank him because we're not paying for this air. That's all I'll say. King Timothy, I would say astonishing mindset about time. Time is a problem to a lot of people. I know that I need to create time so I can talk to my Father, our Heavenly Father, right? I have to. But I supposed to have time for him, because if sometimes you don't really have to pray. Please forgive me for the born agains, that to pray 100, people just take hours upon hours. So they spend a lot of time just saying all those things that we don't even know what they're talking about. But even if it's good for you to say, thank you, Father, for waking me up this morning. Thank you, Father, for the food that you have given. Oh, thank you, Father, for Queen Dr. T for preparing the food. Now, the person who prepared that food, like she spent her time to prepare that food. So I want to thank her for that. So we don't want to take too much time to say thank you to our Heavenly Father. I don't know, but people do they spend too much time for that. But I know that no matter what, He is there. When you are stepping out of the house, you say, Father, follow me. And He does follow you. Wow, He has been doing that for me. Anyway, the time to invest. A lot of us, we do invest time for our health, right? Well, a lot of people don't want to go exercise. A lot of people have big belly, huh? Because they are not exercising or because they are eating too much, right? We need to spend time to eat well, right? We are investing. That's what you say, right? Invest for the health. Invest to learn how to grow. Invest to build a relationship. Time is really important as you talk about time management. But I'm not going to sit here and talk too much about it. We know that you will come back next week because this particular topic is vital to everybody. Time. Thank you so much, sir, for coming.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate. Any other questions, comment, or anything in regards to Tim Ferguson Jr. Presentation thus far? Any other? Let me look in the chat. No, nothing there. And let me look on YouTube if there's anything there. All right. Just some hellos. Definitely. All right. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate King Tim. It was awesome presentation. That presentation, fantabulous. Really appreciate it. And because time is very important, we need to stop wasting time and to use our time wisely. All right. And yes, what if the biggest time wasters is when you have a TV in your bedroom? Let me say that again. One of the biggest time wasters is to even put a TV. Listen, I am a victim to that, right? Back in the day, I had TV in every room, bathroom, living room, kitchen, patio, in the car. TV was everywhere. When I say TV was everywhere. And so when the TVs in the bedroom, oh my goodness, you set up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I remember right about 3 minutes later, they get up in shower and go to work. Watching movies, get up and shower, go to work. And so, it's a dangerous thing, well, for me. So therefore, I take it out of the bedroom, right? So that when I'm going to my bed, it's bed. That's it. No distraction, right? I'll do everything. So actually, when I come out of my bedroom in the morning, I really go back. Unless maybe I'm going to go get a shoes or something to go through the door, or go get a shirt or something to go through the door. I'm going to go back in the bedroom. That's it for me for the day till I'm ready to go to the bedroom to do sleeping. So take the TV out the bedroom. It's a very dangerous time wasting practice. Take the TV out the bedroom. All right. If you have it in the bedroom. All right. I watch TV maybe, once or twice for the week. Right. I have what is known as a movie night. And I, watch one or two movies for the week. All right. That's it. Because it's really time consuming. Really and truly. It's really time consuming. Anyway, thank you very much, King Timothy Ferguson Jr. Really appreciate it. All right. All right. Moving right along. The next presenter is one and only, none other than, of course, our Queen, First Lady, Dr. Benny. And of course, she has been doing this for about 3 years now. Cyber security. So you have a lot to catch up on if you have not been viewing this or following this cyber security presentations. She's an entrepreneur long before on passive, and of course she is the first in on passive, and she is international speaker, and audiences all over the world. And so at this time, as we look at cybersecurity, we introduce First Lady Dr. Benny. Over to you.
Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek. Today, despite the fact that we're talking about cybersecurity, I'm going to talk about KYC. KYC, which means know your customer, right? We all know that it is a process used by banks on different companies, but banks and financial institutions, the reason they're doing it is because they want to verify your identity, right? Identity of their customers, which is usually like collecting checks, personal information like your first name, last name, date of birth, government issue, like driver license, or sometimes they ask for your passport, right? And again, sometimes they ask for proof of income, right? So why do banks require KYC? For several reasons. But anyway, one is to prevent fraud, right? To make sure people are who they say they are, and to stop money laundering, fight terrorism, right? And sometimes we have to follow the law as well as protecting the customers. So just give me a minute, and I am going to share you my screen so we can talk about KYC in a banking system. Greetings, King Carlton. Yes. Let's see. I hope. No. Let's see. This. So, KYC. KYC is a mandatory process used by banks and financial institutions in order to verify the identity of you and I. We are customers, right? So this process involves what? As I stated before, collecting your information for the date of birth and all your home address and the rest. But as we all know, it is very important for us to provide whatever thing the bank is asking for. If you cannot provide it to them, then you will not be able to open any account, right? So KYC is not like a one-time event. Now it begins at the time of account opening. Oh yes, and continues throughout the customer's relationship with the institution. So by implementing KYC procedures in the bank, most of the banks now, they aim to prevent what? The financial crimes like money laundering, identity theft. There are a lot that they are doing. So what are the key components of KYC? The component is like the customer's identity or identification program, which it verifies the customer's identity by using the documents like government issue IDs, proof of address, personal data before opening the account. So the next we'll talk about customer due diligence, which involve what? Collecting detailed information in order for you to understand the customer's financial behavior, assess risk, which ensures that they are not involved in any illegal activities, right? It also enhances due diligence by applying to high-risk customers. This step includes what? Additional checks, such as deeper background verification, right? The source of income analysis and the adverse media screening. Ongoing monitoring. So, most of the time at work, we do have continuous monitoring, right? And other places now at the bank, they will review the customer's transaction to dictate suspicious behavior, large or unusual transfer. A lot of people, they may be transferring too much, large amount of money. So you want to really monitor some of these customers. Where are they transferring the money to? This type of large sum of money, right? Now, the next thing is for you to keep record. By maintaining the updates and accurate customer data, including the transaction history and verification of the document, in order to support the compliance and audit. So let us take a closer look of KYC, which is so important to a lot of banks. One thing is to prevent the financial crime, right? KYC act as what? The frontline defense against financial crimes, such as money laundering, terrorism, identity theft, and fraud. So by verifying this customer identity and monitoring their transaction, banks can really, really dictate the suspicious pattern or behavior early that can take necessary action. So this protect what? The integrity of the financial system. And it also help law enforcement track and stop illicit activities. It also ensures the regulatory compliance. Government around the world mandate KYC, which is know your customers or know your client, right? Through what? The legislation like the U.S. Patriot Act in the U.S. and anti-money laundering directive in the European banks, which are legally obligated to adhere to these regulations. Now, failure to comply can result in severe financial penalties, legal consequences, and even the revocation of your license. KYC also ensures that bank stays within the bounds of national and international financial law. You have assess customer risk. Not all the customers pose the same level of risk. There are some customers that are good and some not. So when it comes to KYC, it helps the bank now to categorize this client based upon their risk profile by analyzing the factor like occupation, the geography, source of funds, and transaction type. High-risk customers, such as politically exposed person or an individual in transaction region, it requires what? Enhanced scrutiny, right? Risk assessment, it also helps the banks tailor their monitoring and prevent what? Exposure to potential threat. So another thing is for us, like how you build your customer, right? So when a bank implements a thorough KYC, it signals to customers that that institution is committed, right, to maintaining a secure and trustworthy environment. So customers are more likely to feel confidence. Oh, I feel confidence now to go to Truist Bank. Oh, some people like Bank of America, right? If you like Bank of America, you can go there because those people, they are serious, right? We have to be very careful. So this trust now, the trust now will help foster a long-term relationship and what? Bright loyalty to the customers. It enables safer transaction. How? Now, with accurate and verifiable customer data, banks can process financial transaction, right, more securely. Knowing the customer's profile allows the bank to flag inconsistencies, such as sudden large transfer. Yes, because they want to know, where are you transferring the money to? And why? So this will reduce the chances of financial losses due to unauthorized or fraudulent transaction. Now, another thing is for us to avoid legal and financial penalties, right? The regulatory bodies impose hefty fine on institutions that fail to implement or maintain effective KYC procedures. Remember, when we join our company, there's always a policy and procedures that each and every affiliate supposed to follow, right? It's the same thing when you go to the bank, you go to school, you have to follow the policy that it is being written within. So beyond the immediate financial impact, such a failure can lead to what? Reputational damage, shareholders, distrust, and even sanction that will prevent banks from operating in certain market. Proper KYC is not just a best practice, but it is what? Critical safeguard against the legal risk. So how do you process this? Or how does the KYC process work in most of the banks, right? The process in the bank is a structure, right? An ongoing system which is being designed out in order to verify the customer's identity, evaluate the risk, and monitor the financial activities. So it starts when a new client seeks to open an account and continues throughout the entire relationship between the bank and the customers. So the aim in this is to ensure that banks fully understand who is the client, who is DrBenny, right? Or any clients which are, in the spot. Any red flag, what will happen? It may indicate what? Fraudulent or criminal behavior. Now, I'm just going to give you some few processes, all right, that will unfold when it comes to our banks. So we have customers identification program. This is this first time and most crucial step where the bank collects and verify the customer identity information. Do you guys know that sometimes people will use debt. People, let me say debt family. A mommy that has died, they may use that mommy's name, address, but now the banks, they are going to verify, right? Sometimes the banks may even ask for, let me say, your paychecks, or they will ask for, let me say, your phone, right? Verizon. They need you to bring the Verizon. They want to know, and they will also ask for, see, I have a Visa card, right? They want to know, like when you give your address, they want to verify if you have, with my Visa card here, they will want to know, where does my Visa card goes to? They want to know that the address that I have given is real, right? So now when it comes to customer due diligence, once the identification is really complete, banks access the customer's risk profile by what? Analyzing their financial background, their occupation, unexpected account activities. Now the purpose, this step, is to understand the nature and the relationship, and to establish now the risk rating that will guide the future monitoring of the effort. I believe each and everyone knows why when you go to open an account, they ask you for a lot of information. They want to know who you are. Are you real? Are you for real? Right? Now, to enhance the due diligence, customers consider high risk, such as those from high-risk countries, politically exposed person. Now, or those dealing with large cashless transaction, bank apply a more detailed and rigorous review. Now, this may involve by verifying, they have to verify the source. They will review the business relationship and the checking, and they will also check of the global watch list. Next, we have ongoing monitoring, right? Yes. The ongoing monitoring, KYC is not a one-time process. Banks must continuously monitor customers' activities. They were. Remember, when you keep removing some large sum of money, except that is why they have to verify where you're working, or where is the money coming from? Who is giving you that money? Or sometimes some customers will say, oh, maybe their parents are giving them that type of money, right? The large sum of money. And again, if you say your parents are giving it to you, now the bank will also try to verify from your parents, are they the one giving you that money, right? That is why they have to monitor the activities to dictate the unusual or suspicious transaction. This includes periodic review, real-time transaction, the tracking, and they also want to update the customer profile when new information becomes available. Yes. So record keeping and reporting. Throughout the process, banks are required to maintain a detailed record. Oh yes, for customers' information, for verification steps and transaction history. So most of the time, every month, you guys notice that the banks that you have, they always send you, those who are using online, they will send them information about their transaction history, like the money that was, let me just say, my paycheck, right? Within my paycheck, what did I use? How much did I spend? They will tell me how much I have spent, how much came in, and how much I've spent. I'm not lying. It happens to me. I saw it. I said, wow, now I realize how much I've spent for this month. That was too much. But anyway, problems occur that you have to spend the money. But the good thing is that the bank already verified and noticed where I got my money from. So if any suspicious activity is really detected, right, banks must report it to the appropriate regulatory authorities, such as filing a suspicious activities report. Things are happening out there. You have to document monthly require for the KYC. Now, to comply with this, right, the regulation, banks will require specific documents in order to help customers identity, customer's address, and a financial profile. Now, these documents now varies slightly depending upon the region, regulation, and the risk level of the customers, but generally fall into what? Three main categories: proof of identity, proof of address, as I told you guys, and proof of what? Income. Proof of what? Income. As you can see here, below is a table that it is being summarized, accepting the documents under each category. As you can see here, document category, and then the examples, right? Proof of identity, right? For the proof of identity, you know they'll always ask of your driver's license, right? If you are flying to another state, they expect you to show your driver license. When I was trying to fly, I took my passport as well as my driver license. But guess what? What they wanted was my driver license. And then when I inserted my driver license and they put thumbs up, so I was happy, I smiled, then I was able to go, right? National identity card, voter ID, residential what? Visa or working permit. This is proof of identity. The working permit, for some of us that came to America, we need a working permit, right? And proof of address, utility bills. They want to know that. They need it, right? Rental agreement, proof of income, salary slip. They want tax return. Very important. They also need your bank statement. Business document. What do they want? They want business license, article of incorporation for like small businesses, as our Queen Dr. T, she has her business, and Queen Pastor Coleman, she has her business too. So I believe they're asking you guys to provide all this. Very nice. Anyway, when it comes to digital KYC, as banking continues to evolve in the digital age, traditional known as KYC, which is know your customer, what it does is that the processes are being transformed by technology, right? The digital KYC leverages tools such as biometrics, artificial intelligence, and online documentation. Verification streamline the identity checks, and it also reduces the onboarding time, which it enables the banks now to perform secure remote verification while maintaining the compliance with the regulatory requirements, making the process now faster, more accurate, and customer friendly. You guys notice that a lot, everything, most of the information is online. You want to buy anything, you can buy online. You don't really need to go to the market. So that is what is happening nowadays. So based upon the digital KYC, it's like we do have, I talk about biometrics, right? Biometric verification, which it uses what? The facial recognition. Some of us, we have to use our fingerprints, right? Or iris scan in order to authenticate the identity securely and instantly. And next thing, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning, which what does it do? It automates the data analysis in order to dictate the fraudulent pattern. It reduces false negative or false positive, and also assess the risk of profile in real time. We have what? eKYC portal, which which it allows customers now, in order for them to submit their documents, a complete verification entirely online by what? Reducing the risk or reducing the need now for the physical visit. You know, a lot of people, when it comes to the physical visit, you have to drive, right? And sometimes by you driving, you may have problem with your car and you may not be there on time and there will be another problem. So sometimes having this information online, it is also beneficial. License dictation, which will ensure that the person verifying the identity is present and not using a photo or video recording. So that is why another thing is to catch people. You know, sometimes you can use, let me say, my mom is gone, right? So I may use her identity. But what they want is they want to see that particular person present. They want to see you physically when you go to the bank. They want to see you, right? Physical. Now, another thing is we talk about the integration of government database, which will enable a real-time validation of what identification document and what cross-verification with official record, which also in order to reduce what onboarding time, we understand that our brother talk about time management, right? So it reduces onboarding time to cut down the customer's verification, a process from days to minutes by improving what? Users' experience, enhance security, right? To protect the sensitive data through the encryption and also secure the storage method by reducing risk of identity theft and fraud. Scalability and cost efficiency, it also support what? High volumes of verification with what? Minimal human intervention, lowering operational cost. So I will continue next week, but in conclusion, KYC is vital security process that it helps banks to confirm who their customers are. So it protects both the banks as well as the customers by reducing the risk of fraud, money laundering, and other financial crime. In short, KYC builds trust. You guys understand, right? KYC, know your customer. It builds trust. It also builds transparency and safety in your financial system. This is where I got my information from. I will continue next week with this KYC. Thank you all.
All right. All right. Wonderful. Thank you ever so much, First Lady Queen, Dr. Benny. That was awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And of course, KYC, it's a lot of money involved when we're talking about KYC to identify persons or to ensure that this person is who they say they are. All right, because there's a lot of identity theft that is going on. So identity is very important. Go ahead, Pastor Queen, Pastor Tony.
Excellent presentation, wonderful information. I find that I think more monetary platforms are starting to use the KYC because I'm on Coinbase and Coinbase uses it. I like playing these little games too on my phone. And so every time, and it's not a lot of money, it's like $1 or something like that, but I enjoy the games. And so I figure if I'm going to play these little games, I might as well get a few pennies out of it. And every time I want to dump $1 or two into my account, it asks for a KYC. So I think any platform that has to do with money has these KYCs where you have to do a facial recognition and that type of thing. So I think it's a really great security measure. And thank you for the information and expanding our knowledge of it. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Queen Pastor Antoinette. Thank you for your love and support.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Pastor Tony. And over to you, Queen Dr. T.
Yes, very good presentation, Dr. Benny. A lot of information as usual. Question: the biometrics. Which one do you suggest for the KYC? Is the biometrics? Do you think they're probably the best because they can use your fingerprint or your facial recognition? What do you think?
Oh,
Do you have a choice in that, or does the institution tell you how they want you to do it?
well, I will suggest finger, fingerprinting is good as well. Both of them are good, but I think fingerprinting, if I use my fingers is different from yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
so I think I prefer fingerprint.
Okay. Okay. Good. But do all of the financial institutions give you that choice? Because I know a lot of times, like for example, we had a fundraiser, Double Good Popcorn. It's a fundraiser. It's legit. And before we've been doing it for a few years now. But every time I set up a fundraiser, I have to give them a facial recognition. They tell me what they want. I don't even know if they give us a choice. Do they give us a choice, Tony? I don't remember. But I think they tell us they want a facial recognition. So we don't have a choice to use the biometrics. So do most institutions tell you what they want?
I will get back to you when it comes to that. I'm not sure because at my bank they just asked us for fingerprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very
But
much,
I
Dr.
think
Benny.
facial recognition is also good as
Yeah.
well because look at everything is different.
Yes.
Looking at your face, look at King Carlton's face. I cannot I can't say that I'm King Carlton. You see?
But the point, Dr. Benny, is that when you do the facial recognition, depending on the kind of phone that you have, it's not always easy. It takes so many different tries to even do that, as opposed to the biometric, like you said, your fingerprint, your iris of your eye. When you do a facial recognition, sometimes it takes a while because you have to line up the camera until you do it over again. So it's not always that easy to do it.
You know what? You are on point when it comes to that facial recognition because I tried it also. I got so angry and I stopped. So that
Yes,
is why I think I prefer finger.
yes.
I believe King Timothy, I don't know what he prefers. Thank you so much, Queen Dr. T.
Actually, I was gonna chime in on answering that question, Dr. T, because what I do, I'm in financial services and in securities. Securities follows the same rules as bank. The FDIC, the SIPC, the same thing. And so the KYC rule is something that applies to everyone. And regarding whether you're on a lot of sites have facial recognition. They're updating to that. A lot of them are fingerprint. They're updating the facial recognition. When you're dealing with banks, more so, and in-person meet sightings is going to be fingerprints more so in the place that they have available. I like Queen Benny would go for fingerprints, and my main reason why is because today cybersecurity when it comes to ID defense or ID theft, it's so easy now because AI is becoming more and more it's getting smarter. And so, you can go into these YouTube pages and you can see a video of somebody and it's fully AI. And the only way you can tell that it's not that is not real is you can see some kind of silhouette on the face or something. And so, when it comes to the matters of that, I'm not so much a fan of the facial recognition, as something in the future because it's something that they're looking at as a way of being able to get around that with, they could take your face and then basically can try to find a way of doing that with AI technology. So
Yeah.
I'm personally one where I'm more so pro fingerprints.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, King Tim, and also Queen Dr. Benny, First Lady. But I think what the question we're asking is why do they ask for facial recognition? It all depends on what the institution want, because it's not it's the institution that determine exactly what they want to use. So this institution might use face, another institution might want fingerprints, right? So the identity is based on the institution, not on your. Some institution have both. You can choose, but for the better part, it's one or the other, and the institution determine exactly which one they want to use. All right, so that is really how that goes. So because they are the ones paying, well, ultimately you are the ones paying, but they are the ones that is paying for your KYC, especially when you go to a bank. I mean, the bank find a way to get it back from you. But they are the ones that determine what the biometrics they want to use. All right. Any other questions, comment, or any facial recognition? So, King, good to see you in the house. Wonderful. And Queen Lillian, good to see you in the house. All right. So, thank you all very much. Really appreciate, really appreciate. I'm not seeing any more hands raised or questions in the chat or anywhere else. All right. So, therefore, at this time, we are just going to ask King Tim to give his closing remarks.
Thank you. My closing remarks, I just wanted to say, as a whole of what you guys have here is really great, is really essential. I'm a huge fan of it, and all I see is seeing that this is something that when we having hundreds and thousands of people on because we're sharing information and we're bringing on people that are providing information that in reality most people in order to get it requires them to have to come out of some money. And we're in the time right now where these things are really, really essential, and it shouldn't be that these are matters that are, that people put money on. And so I just want to say this was a, really great program. And, again, it's an honor being on here, and I look forward to being on here more. And I'm looking forward to see what God is going to do and how he's going to use this platform and really being a benefit and helping people's lives in terms of getting all things in order. So I thank you again.
All right, wonderful. King Tim, really appreciate you. And thank you for all that you do. Really appreciate. Closing remarks, First Lady Queen, Dr. Benny.
Thank you so much. KYC it is really a cornerstone of modern banking operation. So by verifying customers' identities and monitoring their financial activities, it is not only ensuring the compliance, but it also does that with a legal framework, right? It also based upon the strength and the security by preventing the financial crime. And it also what? It builds between what? The banks and their clients. By implementing the KYC, right? It can also come with challenges, as we know, that the benefit far, which will outweigh the difficulties, right? By offering stronger security, improving customers' relationship, and to enhance what? The operational efficiency as the digital transformation continues to reshape the banking sector. It robust as well as adaptability of the KYC, which it will process and remain critical to building the trust. What also? It ensures the transparency and maintaining what? The integrity of the global financial system. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate. All right, and so this brings us to the conclusion of this week's Tuesday deep dive, globally changing lives. And of course, you'll see us again on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We do have other sister platforms. Mondays through Fridays, it's the Yvonne Duo, and that is Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn every day at 1 p.m. Have all right, and you also have on Wednesdays, on Thursday morning, you also have Oh Passion, Singapore, Malaysia. That is 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And of course, on Mondays, you have Queen Miriam Edwards with Mindset Monday. And then come Sunday, you have Dream Team on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And so we want to thank especially our YouTube viewers on the VOD YouTube platform. We just want to thank you all for making it deep dive, globally changing lives. So again, we want to thank King Tim and also First Lady Queen Dr. Benny for the wonderful presentation. And we thank you very much. And so for our YouTube viewers, take care. So long. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And until we see you on Thursday at 7 p.m. on Deep Dive on Thursday. All right. And so for those of you who are here, we also have, as you know, after party. So it is none other than our wonderful, illustrious, beautiful DJ Queen Dr. Nabi, just for you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, we are going to enjoy the time that we have. The presents belong to us. Let's see.